So I am really excited for today's video because I feel like this video would have really helped me a long time ago, because I always felt like living a healthy lifestyle was something that you needed to take like a huge jump in right away. Like you needed to transform your world, like your whole way of living from like night and day, like from like the next day, boom, you should be living a healthy lifestyle. And honestly, it really does not work like that. It definitely takes like step by step, little by little, and just changing habits here and there, as opposed to trying to change yourself up completely like from one day to the next. When you try to do things too drastically like that, it really sets you up for failure, because honestly, like if you're trying to change your entire world and all of your habits from like one day to the next, your body and your brain, they're gonna tell you like, what are you doing? This is not what we do, this is not what I'm used to, and then you kind of like revert back to the way you were living before, and then you feel like you failed. The purpose of this video is to help you with, you know, doing little things every single day, week by week, to help you live a healthier lifestyle and get you on that path to being your best self, to living a little bit more healthier. And I don't know, like ultimately it's so that you feel good. I'm definitely not going to tell you need to hit the gym right now and go like work out for an hour, because to be honest, that is not realistic. At least for me, it wasn't. It was really hard and I always felt like I was failing. So let's get right to it. The number one is going to be the most obvious. It's what everybody is going to tell you, but I promise my other tips are going to be a lot more different from what I feel like is out there. Drinking more water throughout the day. Sometimes like the way I like to do this, even till this day and even like back then, is if I'm a juice drinker and I like to drink juice, I do add a little bit of water into my juice to kind of dilute it a little bit, so I'm not just consuming and drinking a bunch of sugar, because that's ultimately what all of these juices have, is a lot of artificial sugar. Ultimately, it just really comes down to taking in more water and putting that as a priority every single day, no matter what. If you're not like a huge water drinker, like I totally understand, especially at the beginning, especially right now, try adding in some fruit into your water as well. I got this tip from Sam Oscarol. She's like the queen of like this pretty water, this like trend that she's been having for so many years now. I'll link her channel down below, on top of like some videos that she has mentioning the whole like pretty water thing. But ultimately, it's to add some fruit into your water so that it can taste just a little bit more sugary, a little bit better. And obviously this is not artificial sugar, it's real sugar that you're putting into your body. If you want it to be very refreshing, you could do like lemon or mint or cucumber, or you could do like strawberries, or you could do peach, you can do cherries. Like honestly, you can do anything mixed in with water, and it's honestly really refreshing. It's really good, and honestly it's probably perfect for fall right now. You add in some like mint, cucumber, and I don't even know, but honestly that sounds like really good. Another thing too is taking your steps in daily. Like come up with a daily goal that you would like to hit every single day to take in more steps. I feel like we're so caught up on the very beginning that you need to work out, you need to work out, you need to hit the gym, you lift the weights, you need to, you know, get your body moving, which is like, yes, that's great and all, but honestly, just as simple as walking and as simple as taking more steps in throughout the day, in the long run, is so good for you. And I feel like at the very beginning of my fitness journey, like years and years ago, no one ever really talked about that. So if you are like in the very beginning stages of like living healthy, educating yourself, and learning more about what it really takes and what it really is to live a healthy or healthier lifestyle, definitely start taking your steps in. If you have an iPhone, like honestly, like I think everybody in this world now has a smartphone, so any sort of smartphone that you have, it's going to most likely have like a health app, and on this health app, it's going to tell you how many steps you've already taken. So if you take a look at this app and you look at your daily average, and then let's say it's about like 2,000. I know that when I was working at my 9-to-5 job, my daily step average was about like 2,000 to 3,000. So I'm like, okay, if that's my average, if that's my daily already of what it is, and I want to tone it up a notch, then that needs to go up to maybe around 6,000 to 8,000 on a daily basis. So that's what I started doing. I mean, you're not always going to hit this daily goal. I think that if you're hitting it 4 days out of the 7 days of the week, honestly, you're on a really good path there. It's not going to take you a long time. You can hit these steps in a matter of like 30 minutes or even 45 minutes. So yeah, I highly recommend it. I feel like whenever I do take more steps in, I feel like the mobility in my body just feels so much better. I feel more flexible. I feel more energized. I feel honestly lighter. It's crazy, but I honestly feel so much lighter because you get your digestion going. It gets your digestion going. Another thing too is giving yourself a schedule on like when to go to sleep. I feel like out of anything, before even making a schedule for yourself of like what time you want to go to sleep and what time you want to wake up, it just really helps you coordinate yourself better for the following day. Because then at least if you tell yourself, okay, I want to go to bed every single day by 10 o'clock or something, I know that's pretty early, but like Honestly, sometimes I go to sleep at 10 o'clock and I feel great the next day. But let's say, for example, if you want to go to sleep at 10 o'clock at night and then you're seeing that your body is naturally waking up at like 6 o'clock in the morning or 7 o'clock in the morning, then you can kind of adjust yourself from there to see what time you want to schedule yourself to wake up. And obviously this is going to be different for everybody because everybody has different schedules. You might have a 9 to 5, you might have an 8 to 4, you might have more of an afternoon job. So I feel like this would have helped me a long time ago, because I know a lot of people always say like, get yourself on a routine, get yourself on a schedule, like, you know, put your alarm at this time, you know, wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning, wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning. But it's like, what does that really mean? And what is that going to do for you? And I feel like it really comes down to setting yourself up for success the night before, and then figuring yourself out with what time you want to wake up and what works for you in the long run. Comment down below if you feel like this makes a lot more sense. It's really about setting yourself up with what time you want to go to sleep, as opposed to what everybody else is saying, because it's, I don't know, it really comes down to the back end of things. I feel like once I started doing that, my mornings just made a lot more sense. I feel like I was able to wake up at a certain time. I feel like I was able to coordinate myself better. So for me, like, my bedtime is literally, for the most part, between 10:30 10:45, and I feel like when I go to sleep at that time, that's when I feel like my body just feels the best the very next day. And then depending on my schedule, depending on what's going on and all of that, then that's when I set up my wake up times. Honestly, I would be lying if I told you that I wake up at a certain time every single day. But I honestly don't. But I can definitely tell you that I do go to sleep between a certain time range, between a certain time frame every single night, no matter what. And honestly, like, it's the best. And I feel like whenever I go to sleep like later, or maybe like way before that time, it just throws me out of whack the very next day. So yeah, I really hope that that made sense. Also, if this helps, I did create a video like a couple months back on how I trained myself to sleep 8 hours every single night. So if you're having a hard time sleeping, I'll link the video right up here for you to check out. Okay, going more on like the nutrition side of things with living a healthier lifestyle is, so for the longest time, honestly, I was fooled for the longest time. So I want to tell you from the very beginning, just because something is advertised as high in protein and all of that, and that this is like healthy for you, don't be fooled about that, because a lot of the times all of that is really just marketing. What's really going to help you to determine if it's like legitimate or not is by looking at the nutritional facts. When you look at the nutritional facts, you want to look to see what the content, what the protein content is, and then what the sugar content is. I feel like this is very important for packaged items, like, let's say, granola bars and yogurts, and, you know, things along the lines of like maybe healthy cookies. This is really important, because if the sugar grams is higher than the protein content, then essentially that is not the greatest for you. I'm not going to say don't buy it, because everything is all about balance. But if you want to be a little bit more cautious about how much sugar you're putting into your body and how much protein you're consuming, because you want to be more on a higher calorie intake when it comes to your protein, do not be fooled by this. I feel honestly like I just really wish I knew this back when I was like 21, 22 years old, because I used to get so fooled by, oh my god, this has 7 grams of protein, this is so amazing. Okay, and then it has 14 grams of sugar. So if it has more sugar content or fat content than protein, then more than likely that item is more of a sugary or more of a fattening item than a more of a protein-based food. As you're being a little bit more cautious and you're bringing new and improved items from the grocery store, I also highly recommend that you bring snacks with you, because these packaged snacks, that's why I say like don't buy them, because honestly they are good for you to a certain extent, obviously, like with the reasons that I just explained, with you wherever you go, when you bring, you know, when you're hanging out with friends, when you're going out to eat, when you are, I don't know, going to work, or just anything like on the go, put a snack in your bag. This is going to come a long way, because one, if you're on a fitness journey, you're definitely going to feel your appetite getting bigger. It's part of the process. Don't be alarmed. Don't starve yourself. Don't feel like you cannot eat. You have to eat. You have to sustain your body for what it's doing with, you know, if you're lifting weights, if you're running or anything like that, it needs fuel. So as you're getting a little bit more hungry, or you're just hungry period, when you're out, you're more than likely to not have the healthiest choices around you. Like, let's say if you're just out and about and you're getting a little hungry, if you go to Starbucks or you go to a store, you obviously might not pick up a healthy item as opposed to what you already picked out at the grocery store. So those things are always going to be so much better for you, and cheaper, of course. And then like, it's just a really good feeling, honestly, like when you just have snacks with you and you're just like, oh, like I'm so happy that I didn't have to, like, you know, think about or waste money or just like be stressed about what I'm going to eat. My last tip that I want to leave you with is don't skip breakfast. I know if you're not like a breakfast person, I think, you know, I think a lot of people are not at the very beginning. I'm definitely a breakfast person. I've always loved breakfast since I was like really little. But if you don't like breakfast, if you're not like an eater, just have like a banana, have some cereal, have some oatmeal, just have something really small. Don't leave yourself to not eat until lunchtime or till like 10 o'clock, 11. Definitely want to get your metabolism going first thing in the morning, not right when you wake up, but at least within the hour of you waking up, whether it's like some fruit, a yogurt, oatmeal, or like a banana, like I said, so that you have energy for the morning and you're not feeling like you are starving by lunchtime. Because if you're starving by lunchtime, that's when you're gonna make not the best choices. Your body is going to be on like starvation mode and it's gonna want super fatty food. Okay, so that is all I have for you today. I really hope these tips were helpful. Comment down below if they're going to help you. Comment down below if you are going to implement any of these. And honestly, like, I feel like these are the easiest things that you can do at the very beginning. If you feel like this was a lot, just take 3 out of the 5 to start implementing tomorrow. And yeah, so comment down below, say hello. Share this video with anybody that you think is going to benefit with learning how to live a healthy lifestyle and transition into being healthier, living healthier, and all of that. So I will see you in my next video. Bye.